to endure all this shit
Yeah,
that
but it
that
has its
we
limit
taking every
though.
day. Nah, it has its limit. You have to
Yeah,
you're
it
gonna have
has
to
its
detox
limit.
that shit out. You're gonna have to
But yeah,
drink a
it is
lot of water
strong.
to flush your motherfucking system out. But yeah, like the human body is strong as shit to be able to endure
Hell yeah.
all
Nigga, when
these
you see
different
those
chemicals from every different
six
places,
hundred
different
pound
angles.
my 600 pound life and shit. Of course
God
the body
damn.
can take like you see how much weight them niggas be carrying. See how big they legs be and shit like that? On
Shit
my
crazy.
600 pound life, yeah, the human body do take a lot of beating. That's true, but that shit eventually it gives out though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
Eventually
take
it
drink.
gives out.
That's why we, that's why we look for the best products to sell as far as like detox
Facts.
and shit. Like the brother that we work with, brother Altico, he makes his detox drinks with all natural
Facts.
organic ingredients at that. You know what I mean? Like
Facts.
organic ingredients. Like he don't even f around when it comes to that. Like
Right.
black seed oil, you know what I'm saying? Ashwagandha, shit
Right.
like that.
Right.
Matter of fact, let me pull that up because he actually
Yeah,
got
because
the ingredients that he used. He actually got the
we
ingredients that he
definitely got to
used on
start
there. Hold
rethinking the
on.
type shit that we putting in our bodies and on our bodies because this shit is getting crazy out here.
All right, so here go the ingredients right here that the brother used in his drink, in his organic melon splash drink. So he used natural spring water, agave nectar, organic turmeric, organic beetroot powder, organic moringa powder, vitamin B12, vitamin D3, organic flaxseed oil, elderberry syrup, organic black seed oil, organic black maca root, the senna leaf powder. I guess that's psyllium husk powder, funnel seed powder, papaya leaf powder, rose hips fruit powder. I guess that's lactobilicus, aphilicus, or whatever the hell that shit is. Um, colon cleanse, ginger, organic peach juice, and organic peach extract. You know what I mean? So he makes sure he's get the best ingredients to mix in his detox and his detox drink. We used to sell this before. A lot of people was like, "Damn, when y'all gonna get the drink back on there?" Because it actually helped flush people out. People was getting, you know what I mean, flushing people out like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So if that shit ain't don't have natural ingredients like this, then what the fuck is the purpose of that shit even being on the shelf at this point? Why they not taking all that shit off the shelf? All that shit that's causing harm, it's not being taken off the shelf. They saying they lowering the limits of it, but they not taking it completely off the damn shelf. So that's the FDA, the USDA, and the CDC all working together to keep that shit on the shelf. And not counting the hair care products, the skin care products that we use on a daily basis. Well, that the general population use on a daily basis. So I believe if people start waking up more to this shit, that's why it's important for us to educate people on these live streams when we do this, because the more people that become aware of it, it can actually do damage to them, to the corporations, where they got to move accordingly to the people, how the people shop, how the people consume. So if people start consuming more natural products, then the corporations will have to force themselves to actually start selling more natural products.
That's
They
true.
will, they will have to, because they only going to go by what the consumers are purchasing. Because the consumers got the power. And I know people like to look at the pyramid and think that the power structure is at the top, but the power structure is at the bottom, my nigga. You turn the pyramid upside down. The power structure is at the bottom. I don't give a fuck who at the top. Wherever y'all want to say, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, all these different weird ass,
Oh, the
uh,
same
the
name
same,
niggas
yeah,
same.
the priests over there and Vatican and all this weird shit. If y'all think they the ones with the power, y'all sadly mistaken. The power is at the bottom of the pyramid that's holding that shit up. Actually,
That's true. That's
the
true.
found the foundation is at the bottom, not at the top.
But
You have to build. You have to
they
build
not
from the bottom
aware.
up. You have to build from the bottom up, not the top down.
But the
Those power
bottom is
structures.
not aware though. The bottom of the pyramid represent all the people who sleep,
Yeah,
who still
well,
sleep.
yeah, like I said, the more people that wake up to this information are the more
Hmm.
people that can actually, because it really starts in your own household anyway. And what you
Well,
teach your
that would
children.
collapse the pyramid if everybody at the bottom woke up. It would
Yeah, that would.
collapse the
Yeah,
whole system.
it will, and that
It
system
would
would have to
implode.
it would have to rebuild itself back off, which I think is going to happen anyway, because I think it's like a
Hmm.
continued cycle. I think it's
Right,
like a
right.
360-degree angle that we
Facts.
moving in. So I believe that most when the majority of the people wake up, that's going to shatter this paradigm, this system, and it's going to have to be
Hmm.
rebuild on a new system that's truthful and honest. And then
Right.
it'll get corrupted again, and then we have to
Facts.
destroy it and rebuild again. Then it
Yep.
is because for some reason it's always built on honesty and truth at the beginning, and then somehow it gets corrupted. Then the corruption continues. Then we have to tear the system down again and rebuild back on that. Then tear it down and rebuild, tear it down and rebuild. It's like a never-ending cycle.
Like
So
everything else on Earth.
yeah, it's like a never-ending
It's a
cycle.
never ending cycle. It's a never ending cycle, like
Yeah,
everything else on Earth. Because
yeah.
even when you put on clothes and take off clothes, it's the same shit. Because when you put on the clothes, it's all fresh and clean, no stains. And by the middle of the day, if you depending on what you were doing, the shit is all dirty, and you gotta, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta change. The shit is corrupted. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? You gotta change clothes again, and then put on
true,
something else fresh.
er,
It's the same shit, man. It's
true
these
Freeman,
concepts are transferable, bro. It's the same
Lil
shit
Deb,
over and over
Lil
again
Debbie
here.
responsible for a lot of diabetes out here, bro. True
What'd you
Freeman,
say?
True Freeman said Lil Debbie. Yeah,
Oh,
Lil
little Debbie,
Debbie
hell yeah.
said he
Not just
said,
little Debbie,
and
it's a
they only
lot of
got
shit.
the 50 grand, but Lil Debbie definitely responsible for a lot of diabetes out
Look,
here. I
Big
tell you that.
Deborah's. Little Debbie is responsible for a lot of Big Deborahs. Little Debbie's made a lot of Big Deborahs out there. Just let
Would you say what Goddess Flower is to every 500 years?
big ass Deborah.
Every 500 years, what build is
Every
destroyed every
500
500
years.
years?
Shit, I think it's 120 years.
It might be 120. Yeah, I mean it might have lessened. The years might have lessened. Um, now
That's
that
if you
we
still thinking linear, but yeah,
yeah, but now
120
now
years.
but now with the information age, with the internet, it speed everything up.
Yeah,
It kind
right,
of
right.
woke people up at a rapid speed that the establishment didn't factor in to that, because it's always a double-edged sword. So the establishment didn't factor in that even though you're using the internet to consolidate everybody and push them all on the internet where they can be tracked, traced, and chipped and watched. When you in fact they didn't factor in a component where people can actually use the information to wake their asses up too. So it's always a
Hmm.
two-edged. The truth is always a double-edged sword when it comes to this shit. They ain't
Hmm.
factoring that. I remember Hillary Clinton saying we losing to the information age. She actually said that shit on TV one time.
It's
She
an
said we
information war,
yeah, yeah, it's an
and we're
information war,
losing.
and they're losing because
Yeah,
they
she
didn't
said we're
they didn't
losing. Yeah,
yeah they didn't factor in that at the same time they was consolidating everything and pushing everybody to the internet. They didn't realize that the information age was going to actually wake people up at a fast, rapid rate to the point where a lot of the plans that they had they couldn't even follow through on them shits because
that's true.
people was waking up. So it was kind of fucking up their plans that they had 20 years. Like they set when they do these plans, they 20 years ahead because they like to use the younger generation to based off the agenda off the younger generation so they can grow up into it. But they didn't factor in that these this new generation is a different type of breed. These motherfuckers is fat. They wake up fast. You know what I'm saying? And they catch on fast. So they ain't anticipate
What
that
was
shit.
really happening is the people from our generation is waking up.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta
but
think about it. People from
yeah,
our
but
a lot
then
of people from our generation is you
a lot
gotta
of
think
motherfuckers
about
still
it.
sleep.
Nah, but
A
no,
lot
I'm
of
just
white
saying,
people still sleep.
like a lot of niggas started waking up because you gotta remember, even like in our community, even at one point, the hip hop was even conscious at one point. People was
Yeah,
waking up
that's
to
another.
shit.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
another.
mean? You
Yeah,
had niggas like Public Enemy, Rakim, and niggas like that.
yeah. You
The
had
shit that they
X
was rapping
Clan,
was different. Yeah,
younger
X
brothers, X
Clan, right,
Clan. I
right.
mean, Tribe. Different type of groups, man. That
Right, yeah.
that
So nah, niggas started waking up
Civil
around
righteous
that time. Then
teachers.
you had all the people, the conscious individuals, you know what I mean, like C. Freemanel and Hemet and all them type niggas.
Yeah,
So
C.
nah, niggas
Freemanel,
started waking,
Bobby
yeah,
Hammond,
niggas, nah,
Handy.
niggas started waking
Um,
up. Niggas started waking up, but the thing is, in this generation, I think that COVID shit accelerated everything. They left a lot of people home to think for themselves, and they started waking up, and then all that mixed information that the
that's the double-edged sword right
corporations
there.
and shit was put out there. That shit accelerated it.
Bingo, bingo. That's
That
the
COVID
that's
lockdown, that
yeah,
shit
yeah.
accelerated it
That
like a motherfucker.
yeah, that's the
That
flip
shit
side
took
right there. They wanted to lock down everything, right? They wanted to lock everybody in, you know. But they didn't anticipate the factor that they didn't factor in that was going to also give people time to think. So at the same time of them locking the whole damn world down, they didn't really anticipate people, you know, gathering the information and actually retaining the information. So that kind of like dug into their plans a little bit too. I mean, kind of delayed their plans a little bit more too because people had time to think, bro. I mean, you had people doing extensive research on a lot of shit during COVID because they had a lot of time on their hands, especially
bingo,
especially with us when we was out here putting the information.
bingo,
We was putting the information out here heavy as shit during the COVID time too.
bingo.
So a lot of our subs during that time, they was doing a lot of fucking reading. They was doing a lot of looking up shit based off the information we was putting out there. And they was coming back with shit that we didn't even know. You know what I
Bingo.
mean? Like they was finding shit and sending it up to us. Like, hey, I ain't even know about this shit. Let me go ahead and look this up.
I think
Then
I
we
heard
do a
something
lot.
about that, but I think
Then
I
we
heard something.
yeah,
I
then
think
we
I
do a
heard
live
something about
on it.
that.
Yeah, then we do a live stream on the shit based off of what they found.
This is
Yeah.
this shit is like, but for real, this shit is like a ongoing cycle of the same shit over and over again. You just gotta observe it. It's almost like when he was in the Truman Show, when he was sitting in the car and he was showing his wife, she was in on it too, showing how the car was gonna go by, then the motherfucker on the bike was gonna go by. He kept doing the same patterns over and over again. That's all that's going on here, man. That's what everything.
All right.
The same shit over and over, y'all. They run the same plays. Like we said, every time an election come and they want the black votes, they always have a George Floyd or a Trayvon Martin or a Sonia Massey type of situation happen. They always bring that to the forefront. And that stuff happens all the time, but they only care about it when they want the black vote. Then the whole media is focused on it's on CNN, motherfuckers be on Time Magazine, all that shit when they want the black vote. But as soon as they get the black vote and you know what I mean, they get their man in office, you don't hear about that shit until the next time they looking for another
that
Democrat to
shit
be
kind of die
elected.
down. That
It's
shit
the
kind of
same
die
shit,
down when they get in.
bro. It's the same shit, bro. They do the same thing every year. I mean, every election year, they do the same damn tactics. Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin. Did they say my name? They don't start doing all that shit until it's time to get the black vote. And the Republican do that shit too, because Trump, Young Thug, mentioning Young Thug and all that, trying to get the black vote. Kodak, getting Kodak out, getting the black vote. All of it. They all do this. They all do the same shit. Everybody. They all do it. Both sides do it. None of them don't give a shit about you. They don't. It's the same pattern over and over again every year. None of you realize in those debates, none of those politicians are talking about all the damn poison and all the price gouging that these corporations are doing. Well, Trump do talk about the price gouging, though. I ain't gonna put that. Trump do talk about that shit. He have his little model of groceries there, like, you know what I mean, saying under me, these groceries would be a lot cheaper. As you see, these are Biden's and Kamala's groceries over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, hey. So he's showing you the models of whose groceries are going to be more expensive, whose groceries are going to be cheaper. So, all right, so we understand that part, but what about all the poison that's in them goddamn groceries now? All these health problems that Americans are going through because they just allowing anything in the damn food. What about all these farms that's getting attacked for nothing? They shutting down all these farms and shit and letting these corporations poison us so you don't even have access directly to the farmer because they being SWAT team for selling raw milk or selling, you know what I mean, for some dumb shit. While they letting the corporations put 60 damn chemical ingredients in your goddamn grocery store cake, birthday cake or whatever, snack cake or whatever the fuck it is. All that shit that they be having right when you walk into the grocery store, it's all in the front. You walk in, cakes, shit, everything, all the shit right there. Juice, cake.
Hold on, real
you
quick.
go up to the cake and you read that shit and you see this big ass label on there. You see all these little letters. It'd be like 70 ingredients in one damn cake. 70 ingredients. You can't read. You can't pronounce none of the motherfucking words on there. All long scientific words.
All right, so they just put something out about the FDA. We're gonna get into this real quick, bro. It says one medical device is raising questions about the FDA's approval process. Because the FDA is approving just any old fucking thing at this point.
Food and Drug Administration to make sure that medical devices are safe. Now, reporting by KFF Health News raises questions about how the agency has dealt with some product, including one that treats a heart condition. Ali Rogan has more.
The device is called MitraClip, and its goal is to fix
they trying to come up with a new device.
Leaky heart valves, often in patients too sick for surgery. It's implanted by snaking a small clip into the heart through a major vein. Now, a new investigation by KFF Health News looks into questions surrounding the device's development, promotion, and use since it was approved by the FDA back in 2013. David Hilsenrath is the senior Washington correspondent for KFF and was the lead author of this story. David, thank you so much for being here. What type of patient was this device developed for, and why was it such a game changer?
MitraClip is used to treat patients with a condition called mitral regurgitation, or MR, in which blood flows backward through the heart's mitral valve. MR can lead to heart failure and death. I've seen estimates, Ali, that millions of people in the United States experience MR, including 10% of people over 75. The MitraClip system includes a tiny clip that is implanted in the mitral valve to fasten the two flaps of the mitral valve together and enable them to achieve a tighter seal.
And what was then the reality of what you found about how what this product says it does matches up with the reality?
For many patients, it may be a game changer. We found that the story of MitraClip is, in many ways, a cautionary tale, however, about the science, the business, and the regulation of medical devices. We found that since the FDA approved MitraClip in 2013, MitraClip has been named in thousands of reports to the FDA about malfunctions or cases in which it might have caused or contributed to a patient's injury or death. We found 17,000 reports, of which more than 1,100 involved deaths. There has long been debate about research surrounding MitraClip. Before the FDA approved the device in 2013, it issued a paper criticizing data marshaled in support of MitraClip. And one outside advisor to the agency compared that data to poop, more specifically horse poop and dog poop.
Now, in terms of the deaths that you mentioned, certainly the people associated with MitraClip would point out that this was not a physically well population to begin with, so some deaths are to be expected. But is the issue here that the claims are that these devices actually cause the deaths?
The reports that I described do not prove causality. It's one of the flaws in the FDA's post-market surveillance system that these reports are not definitive. The FDA relies largely on reports submitted by the manufacturers themselves, such as, in this case, Abbott.
And as you mentioned, Abbott denies wrongdoing. They say in part that, quote, it is a safe and effective treatment option with a strong foundation of clinical evidence for more than 20 clinical trials. I do want to ask you, though, about the clinical trial aspect of this. It does seem like a catch-22 that the very companies that are charged with proving to the FDA that their products are safe and effective largely bankroll a lot of these clinical trials because they're extremely expensive and they're the only ones that can do so. Is that an inherent conflict of interest in just how the system is run in the United States?
It's built into the system. What you describe, Ali, is absolutely true. The FDA relies primarily on clinical trials conducted by the very companies that manufacture these products. Much of the research that Abbott alluded to in that statement was funded by Abbott. Many of the doctors involved themselves had financial relationships with Abbott. And the research is not always clear-cut. It can be debated.
This investigation also, though, reveals the amount of uncertainty that is allowed for in the FDA approval process. Is that also something that is pretty standard when FDA approval is sought?
Well, at times, and we've seen this with other products, the FDA has approved medical products over the objections of its own staff professionals. In the case of MitraClip, the FDA initially argued that the clinical research and other data the manufacturer had produced to argue for approval was fundamentally flawed. To cite just one example, the allegation was that the MitraClip patients in that testing were treated by surgeons who were highly experienced, while those in the control group were treated by doctors who performed surgery much less frequently. In that testing, MitraClip was compared to surgery. And the FDA convened this committee of outside advisors. The committee was quite split on what to recommend to the FDA. The committee voted against the proposition that the device was proven effective. However, it voted that the benefits outweighed the risks.
For all them damn deaths and they still trying to approve the motherfucking device, bro. Like, why y'all FDA just don't give a fuck about a people, period, bro? They don't. Like, they
You
don't
heard
give
what they said. They let the corporations that try to get their stuff approved, they let the corporations do all the scientific research. Of course, they gonna make it look safe. No matter how poisonous that shit is, they gonna make it look safe because it's their own product. Of course, they're gonna make it look safe in the scientific studies. Those and the FDA don't care because their pockets is being greased, obviously. And there's been FDA whistleblowers, people who quit because of that type of shit, and they whistleblowed and they tell you how the shit is ran over there. It's all corrupt. They let any type of poison in your food for the right price. They let any type of poison in your medicines, any type of poison in your air and your water. They can be bought, man, and they have been bought. These corporations come in with tons of money, you know what I'm saying? And they say, well, we got the scientific research. You ain't even got to do nothing. We show you that it's safe with our scientific research. The FDA they don't even look at that shit. They see all that money sitting there. They want to get to the party. So they just sign that shit and pick up the briefcase or the suitcase filled with money or the duffel bag, however the fuck they do it. And they leave and they get their party on and they celebrate with every new drug or every new poison that enter into our food supply, water supply, air supply, product, hair care, skin care supply, all the poisons that's in there. The motherfuckers like, oh well, but we definitely got our piece of the pie though. And they go party, you know what I'm saying? While we all being poisoned. That's what it is. That's what it is. It ain't shit else. Greedy as hell out here. Greedy and wicked at the same time.
Your dental health. You hear that from your dentist all the time, right? But a concerning investigation from consumer advocates says that some people, some popular brands, in fact, of floss may actually contain harmful chemicals.
That's concerning. So yesterday, Mel, you shared some safer toothpaste alternatives and the best toothbrushes for our kids. Now you've got new information about safer floss options.
I mean, who would think about this? You know, you think you're doing something good, going that extra step by flossing, and then ingredients that have been linked to health concerns because the floss you choose matters. Even if we don't follow it, we all know the advice from dentists.
Flossing is the game changer. Flossing makes a huge amount of difference in the mouth.
That advice isn't changing, but the findings from a new Consumer Reports analysis of what's in your dental floss might have you thinking twice about the type of dental floss you're using.
Some dental flosses use PFAS chemicals for a smoother glide. However, these forever chemicals are linked to various health problems and environmental concerns. Some flosses also contain undisclosed flavors and are made of plastic.
Consumer Reports and Made Safe recently analyzed ingredients in a variety of flosses. 10 flosses either failed to disclose their ingredients, contained PFAS, or included other components linked to health concerns, posing higher risks to customers. 3 flosses stood out as favorites because they contain safer and more sustainable ingredients. While companies aren't required to disclose all ingredients in dental floss, Tom's of Maine, Dental Lace, Cocoa Floss, and Nudge provided Consumer Reports with complete ingredient list and confirmed they don't intentionally add PFAS to their products. Procter & Gamble, makers of Oral-B Glide, confirmed that their floss contains PTFE, citing its performance benefits. However, they maintain it's safe and free of certain phased-out PFAS. The Humble Co. provided partial information, confirming PFAS-free status, but giving incomplete flavor details. The other companies did not respond to our inquiries and did not provide answers to Consumer Reports questions. And for people who hate flossing with string, how about a water flosser?
Water flossers, like Waterpik, work well for removing food debris. And although they may not be quite as effective as string floss at scraping away bacteria, they're a great option for people who dislike string floss or who find it difficult to use.
Remember, the And it's like a spa experience when all that water gets in your face. All right, so Consumer Reports does recommend choosing flosses that are coated with natural substances. Look for beeswax or plant-based waxes. Also look for floss made from biodegradable materials like silk or cotton, or either unflavored or flavored, only using natural ingredients that are listed on the packaging. So I know this is a lot of work, but if you are concerned, this is a way to kind of look into what your floss has inside.
No, these companies need to be held accountable for putting any type of poison in anything, because you're poisoning us. You go to jail for that. What the fuck? Like, we're so desensitized that we can sit up here and watch the news and watch that they're literally poisoning us, and we sitting here accepting it like it's normal. Well, you know, that's what the government do. You know how insane that shit is? But let you poison someone, your ass is going to jail right away. And you should. Let somebody poison somebody on the street with the same shit they putting in our food and everything, and in our water, and in our dental care products and shit. Let somebody do some shit like that to somebody on the street. You know they going to jail. Because the corporations got big money, they got connections, and people walk around dumb as ever. They able to get away with this shit and then talk about it on the news casually and tell you, oh yeah, ways to avoid it. You know, just make sure you buy stuff that got natural this and that. But hold on, I thought these fucking companies, these government agencies that we give our tax dollars to, I thought they supposed to be on top of these motherfuckers, saying that you can't put that shit in this, you can't put that in there, you can't, that's poison. Aren't these motherfuckers a chemist that work there? Don't they know that this shit is harmful to the human body? So they don't look at the chemical and see right from the door that that's not some shit that humans are supposed to be consuming. Like, what test studies do these niggas need? Like, if you already a chemist, you gotta understand the people that work for these agencies are chemists. They go to school to learn chemistry, and they know about all these chemicals. So when they read the ingredients and shit, and they know what these chemicals do to the human body, why the fuck are they allowed to have it in the food at all? Because that's basically intentionally poisoning someone. That's murder.
Like I said,
that's mass genocide right there. So people should be going to jail.
The chemical companies work hand in hand with
there.
the food.
Jail.
With the food corporation. So when you got the chemical companies contracted with the food corporations, they are contracted to put this shit in the food, bro. Because the food companies don't seek out to put the shit in the food. It's the chemical companies that's doing business with the food companies and contracting them to put the shit in the food.
The food companies are owned by the chemical companies, the same shareholder.
So what they doing is they're pretty much double dipping. Pretty much, they like you said, same shareholders that share. You know, the top shareholders of the chemical companies is the same shareholders of the food companies as well. So
the same damn companies, right?
So they're just pretty much just basically making money off the chemical portion and the food portion of the you know, all the ingredients and shit that goes into to make up that product. So all those 50 ingredients are different companies. Those not all the same companies that these food companies ingredients are made of. Though all those different chemicals that might be from different chemical companies.
Right.
You know what I mean? So everybody's getting a piece basically.
But you know, all them companies are consolidated though. It's like only really
now,
like 4 or 5 different companies that own all the rest.
Yeah, now they are, but they didn't start off that way. It was a bunch of different chemical companies that was contracted with these food corporations before they start consolidating a lot of shit because, you know, partners.
It's called a takeover. It's called fascism. It's called fascism. That's what it's called. That's when the corporation become the government become the corporation. But now they added another element to it. The technocrats, the social media giants is attached to it now. So yeah, all of it is one big operation.
which they pretty much tied all this. They tied it up. They pretty much tied up everything
to keep you dumbed down, poisoned, and sick.
Because now the technocrats is what's pushing, is what able to control the information. You know what I mean? They able to control it. So let's get into the snack ban. So I see a lot of states see that, and that's what it's going to have to take. It's going to have to take each individual state to start putting the pressure on these motherfuckers to start removing a lot of this shit off the shelf. Because they're not going to do it all at once where the whole country is doing it. It's going to have to be individual states that actually put pressure on their you know, on their politicians and all that to start removing some of this shit off the shelf, man. So let's get into this one real quick. This is
they can make this shit with cleaner ingredients, because if you check the ingredients list of these same foods when they first hit the shelves like years and years ago, they wasn't using as much poison as they use now. They was not using as much poison as they use now. The type of poison that a candy bar having it in 2024 is even more different than the amount of poison that it had in the 90s. Completely different candy bar.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Completely different candy bar. The shit that's in 2024.
Well, more drugs.
The candy bar that you eating in 2024 is fucking highly deadly. That shit is highly deadly. Right.
They like coming.
Highly deadly. Count Chocula.
Right.
That shit is way more. Even the cereals, all that shit is way more deadly now. They came up with all new types of chemicals since then.
The rap snack. Yeah, they use all that shit to target the nigga community. Right.
Hell yeah.
Rap snacks and Randall Cunningham candy bars and remember all that shit they used to. The big homeboy chips and homegirl chips. Remember all that shit? They used to peddle it in our community, bro. Bro, we used to trust me, because we used to buy for that shit every day anyway.
Yes,
them snacks every day. We used to go right to the poppy store at the corner. You know what I mean, or the Korean niggas at the corner.
And they were poison then, but that shit is more unbelievably poison now. That shit tastes completely different now.
Wholly traceable.
That shit is definitely different. It ain't even the same food, y'all. That's why the food tastes so different. The niggas growing up, niggas that grew up in the that grew up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, up into the 90s. Y'all know the food started tasting weird in the early 2000s. Yeah. That shit started. A lot of food started tasting very synthetic.
I know, right?
Very synthetic.
Candy bar got a nerve to be almost $3 for that poison. Man, that's
$3 for all that fucking poison.
Snack ban, man. Los Angeles snack ban, man. A lot of this shit got to go off the show. All this Gatorade shit, all these Cheetos and Pop-Tart, all that shit got to go, man. That shit is crazy.
Favorite snacks could be at risk of being banned because of their ingredients. At least 5 states are proposing these laws that prohibit the use of certain ingredients and color additives, which help preserve the food that we eat, but have also been linked to health issues, including cancer. Stephanie Haynes through this live to explain. Stephanie, I see Flamin' Hot Cheetos here. My dad's going to be devastated. What snacks are we specifically talking about here?
Yeah, look, these bills have quite a long way to go, but it is the stuff that you really reach for when you have the munchies, including, those spicy chips and crackers, chewy candies, and then even some of your favorite baking supplies like frostings and even sprinkles have some of the stuff that states basically want these food companies to replace the components of with something else. So that could change the recipe. That's at the very least what they want them to do. And so let's take a look at least these 5 states, New York, Illinois.
All right, so New York, Illinois, California, what's that, Washington?
California, Missouri, Washington are all trying to introduce or try to pass laws on some of these ingredients, which are a mouthful. It sounds like your high school chemistry class. So we're going to give you a breakdown of some of the highlights here. One of the ingredients is brominated vegetable oil.
All right, so look at this shit. You see a lot of this shit in the back. Titanium, doxide, titanium. What the fuck?
Butylated hydroxynisol. Isodecarbamide, isodecarbamide, propylparaffin, potassium bromate. None of that shit you can barely.
Look, red dye 3.
You can barely even pronounce.
Brominated vegetable oils.
That's the shit that's killing your ass. That's what's giving you diabetes. That's the shit that's giving you people them big ass legs when you see them driving around in those Walmart carts and they got big ass legs with black spots on them. It's all this shit that's doing it to them. All these fucking chemicals. That's what it ain't just genetics. Oh, diabetes run through my family. Nah, nigga, chemicals run through your family. It ain't fucking diabetes that's running through your family, nigga. It's chemicals that's been running from your family through all this fucking shit y'all been eating. All this shit that you can't pronounce is poison.
What's that? Exotic carbonate. What the hell? Yo, bro, what's all this shit, man? Let's continue.
Now that is one that the FDA has already proposed banning, and that is in the bill that California has already passed. That'll go into effect in 2027. BBO, as it's called, used to.
Why they gotta wait till 2027, man? Get that shit off the shelf now.
Now it's poison. Get that shit off and the rest of the motherfuckers that put it on the shelf.
The thing is, California is more of a health state, bro. So you know they don't fuck around when it comes to this shit.
This
so
is blowing my mind. I'm not desensitized yet.
They taking necessary precautions to get that shit off the shelf. Like
I ain't desensitized to this shit yet. It's blowing my mind,
bro. Because it's the people. I think because I believe they
wait till November 20th.
Bro, I believe they starting to remove this shit because people was telling them this shit got to go. We not fucking with it no more. There's people actually putting pressure on their officials in a state to get this shit off the shelf. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take people in individual
They
states.
already did it in Europe, bro.
Yeah, it's going to have
They
to
already did it in Russia, bro. They already did that shit.
Oh, yeah, Russia don't fucking around.
Countries.
Japan got all them breakfast cereals. Japan got that shit out of there.
Right.
They said, we don't want this shit in our country.
We don't want none of that
shit. Bullshit in our country.
They food quality is just better in Japan. Everything, even they food at a goddamn gas station is better than a 4-course meal restaurant from the United States. You'd be better off eating at a gas station in Japan. That food is healthier than the shit that you get in the United States. That's the crazy part.
Since been removed from most of them. And then Red Dye 3 gives food and drinks that bright red cherry color. That's also being actively reviewed by the FDA. Several of these.
Wait, man, that shit don't need to be unreviewed by the FDA. The red dye shit is the poison. It's got the link to cancer. It's already been studied. Bro, it's already been studies on all the red dye and shit they use in the food ingredient. My nigga, why it have to be under review? FDA, y'all approved the shit. So why the fuck is it back under review when y'all approved it from the beginning? Why does it have to be back under review? This the shit this the trickery that they be fucking with us with, y'all.
But they a SWAT team, a farm. They a SWAT team, a family farm, though. They SWAT team Amish farms. They SWAT team family farms where they sell clean meat, clean fruits, clean local vegetables, and they're self-sustainable. They go and attack them with SWAT teams, but they let these corporations put literal deadly poisons in the food. Deadly poison. And they ain't doing shit about it.
Bro, this shit said Red Dye 3 attack. Under review by the FDA, bro. How the fuck is something under review by the FDA when they approved it from the beginning? How is back? Let's continue, y'all. This shit blowing my mind.
Are already banned in Europe. And so we spoke to a nutritionist about this. Listen.
So if Europe can do it, we certainly can too, but it does take more money. And it takes really this dedication to saying we're not going to allow for this low quality stuff to keep entering into our systems.
So critics like the Consumer Brands Association say this is really stuff that's going to supersede the FDA. It's just going to confuse consumers and reduce their confidence in the brands. And also that these food companies really go through a strict process to try to get healthy, safe food on the shelf for you, the consumer. We reached out to a bunch of parent companies of brands and are waiting to hear back, Marky.
Yeah, I'm looking at this list here. Gatorade, M&M, Swedish Fish. As long as they don't touch my Junior Mints, I will somehow survive. Stephanie Haynes.
Bitch, Junior Mints, bitch. If you look at the ingredients of Junior Mints, bitch, it's a lot of ingredients in the back of that fucking Junior Mints box. She talking about as long as they don't touch my Junior Mints. Bitch, that shit, look at the back of that motherfucking ingredients. She talking about Junior Mints. The fuck? You see how I hate the news? When they report on this shit, this shit is real shit, right? And they gonna be on there playing and shit.
They taking it too lightly and shit.
Yeah. Bitch.
Don't touch my Junior Mints. While they over there SWAT team in a family farm that's selling fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, fresh meat, fresh milk, dairy products. You SWAT team them, but you let these corporations put deadly fucking poisons in the food. Not just poison. They not just putting poison in the food, y'all. They putting deadly poison in the fucking food. And y'all probably like, well, isn't all poison deadly?
Let me look up this bitch.
Nah, the shit that they putting in there is
Bro,
highly
all right.
deadly.
Let me look up the ingredients of Junior Mints. Since you want to say you on there clowning and shit.
This nigga stuck on the Junior Mints.
Since
F
you want
those
to be
Junior Mints.
Hold on real quick, bro.
They poison all of the damn candy. All that shit you get for Halloween. All that shit you get for Easter. All that shit you eating is highly toxic to your body, man.
All right,
It's been
Junior
effing
Mint
you up all
contains
these
the
years.
following ingredients: sugar, which you know is which is refined, bleached white sugar. You know they're gonna use that shit because they're not gonna use nothing like well, y'all know. Semi-sweet chocolate, which includes sugar chocolate processed with alkali, cocoa butter, soy lecithin,
there it is,
and vanilla. Look, corn syrup. Confectioner's glazed, modified food starch, peppermint oil, invertase and enzymes.
There you go.
Artificial colors, including FD&C red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1. Bitch, the fucking Junior Mints is poison. She up there laughing and giggling and shit. Long as they don't touch my Junior Mints. Get the hell out of here. Bro, red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1 is enough. That's the food coloring, bro. That shit. Why is that shit in Junior Mints? Why is it blue 40, blue, red, yellow, and blue in goddamn Junior Mints? Man, look, man, this shit crazy, bro. This shit crazy out here, my nigga.
Because all that shit comes from
that's soy lecithin.
One or two or three sources, bro. You gotta think about it. When you start these businesses like that, everybody get their shit like from the same companies in bulk, so you can, because it's cheaper. And all the shit you get in bulk, majority of that shit is all these chemicals already come in it, mixed in it. You know what I mean? The shit that you, like the motherfuckers that open up these chain restaurants and they independently own, but they still got to buy the shit from the company's warehouse. Like if you open up your own independent McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? You still got to get the shit from the McDonald's warehouse. Right. And all that shit come with the chemicals already in it. Already in it. So you can't even, there ain't even no way to bypass that shit. The only way to bypass that shit is to put pressure on these companies and not buy it. You know what I'm saying? And go support your local farm and start making shit from scratch when you can.
All right, so let me see what this is. So,
a popular brand that butter is
this is actually the Kerry Gold shit. I actually wanted to play this video too because it's that shit popping up again, that PFSA, whatever the fuck that shit is. Yo, we used to use this butter too, bro. This shit crazy, bro. Remember, we used to buy this fucking butter all the time.
Appearing on the shelves
sometimes you gotta be careful because some of this shit be propaganda too. With some of these brands, because some of these brands their shit could be cleaner and they don't want them to be clean. They want poison in the food. You understand? These companies want to poison us. So it ain't even just about profit anymore. It's about the motherfuckers keeping us weak, stupid, dumb, divided, sick all the time, weak-minded, and always docile. Yep. Yeah. So that's what it's really about.
Passive.
So if there is a company out there that's health conscious and they trying to do some shit for real, they say, oh, they're the ones that's contaminated. So you gotta realize this is a psychological war that's going on, as well as chemical biological warfare at the same time.
Please smash that like. Yo, if y'all ain't hit that like button yet, please smash that like button. Actually, we almost at 100. One more, John, we'll be at 100 on this, John. We'll be at 100 on this video. So let's continue with this shit though, bro. This shit crazy, bro. I don't know what the fuck they be doing to us with this food and shit.
Because of something called forever chemicals. Plus,
our tests found concerning levels of cadmium or lead, two toxic heavy metals, in most of the dark chocolate bars we tested.
Consumer Reports found heavy metals in a lot of dark chocolate brands. Find out how much you'd have to eat to
Heavy metals in a goddamn chocolate bar, man. Chocolate chip.
really be at risk for health problems.
Chocolate chip.
and these two bottles of ketchup from the US and the UK seem almost identical. But wait until you see the difference in their ingredients. Today, we're chewing on what's really in your food. Let's dig into it. When we go to the grocery store, we're used to checking all kinds of labels, from that expiration date to the calorie count also.
Yeah, now some doctors want you to look for another label, one that says no.
Yeah, basically chocolate covered heavy metals. That's basically what this shit is. Chocolate covered heavy metals. Let's continue.
Oh, PFAS. Dina Demetrius digs into why it could be important to your health.
It's as natural as the day my great-grandfather made butter.
Irish Kerrygold butter is prized by many consumers for its grass-fed goodness. But what consumers may not have realized, that grease-resistant wrapper contains per- or polyfluoroalkyl carbons, PFAS for short, a toxic artificial compound.
They last forever. They're called the forever chemicals because they're very persistent.
University of Notre Dame biochemist Graham Peasley co-authored studies on PFAS. His team uses a special particle accelerator to test fluorine levels in products.
They are used in over 1,600 different industrial processes and products. They make Teflon pans non-sticky. They make clothing waterproof.
Look, Joker. Yeah, look, Bill Gates' brother.
He's a chemist. He's a chemist, so he should be telling them that shit shouldn't be in there at all,
Yeah, fool,
or
right,
he's part of the problem.
He's part of the problem. Bill Gates looking ass brother. Some shit like that. I don't know, man.
They make packaging waterproof.
In late 2022, Kerrygold stopped restocking its foil wrap butter to retool its packaging for California and New York ahead of new state PFAS laws. The company provided a statement that reads in part, "We will continue to ensure packaging for our products remains compliant with all relevant state legislation and regulatory requirements." Kerrygold's butter wrapping is not linked to bad health outcomes, but PFAS in general have been linked to certain cancers and other health dangers like high cholesterol and preeclampsia in those who are pregnant.
We've since discovered that all these PFAS are immune suppressants, so they suppress your immune system, and that means any opportunistic disease, including some types of cancer, could take over.
11 states now have rules either banning or reducing PFAS levels in items ranging from carpets, clothing, and cosmetics to food wrappers and containers. Many companies have voluntarily removed intentionally added PFAS from their products or packaging. The site PFAS Central by scientists at the Green Policy Institute lists dozens of companies with PFAS-free products, including Clean at Sephora, IKEA, H&M, and Chick-fil-A food packaging.
The big companies have pledged to phase out by 2025, and the smaller companies are already doing it.
Peasley says they're hard to come by, but consumers should start looking for labels that say no PFAS. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Yeah, but that's just
no peace for y'all. No.
Yeah, but that's crazy though, because they just replaced that chemical with another chemical, and they don't tell you about the one they replaced it with.
That motherfucker look like.
See, they didn't say the PFAS. They say, "Oh yeah, make sure it's PFAS free." All right, it's PFAS free, but what about the new chemical that you put in there? That's even worse. That's even worse than the PFAS that you ain't even got labeled.
Right.
What about those chemicals?
Damn,
and then
bro,
they say, "Oh, this got no PFAS in it," so they could raise the price.
Oh, after that.
While you're looking at stuff on the product.
That's what they do. They put no PFAS on the label just so they could raise the price another $1. But not telling you that it's another chemical in that thing that they replace the PFAS with that's even worse than the damn PFAS.
PFAS.
Yep,
Man, this shit is all rigged. It's all
bottles. They seem pretty similar. You got the one.
This motherfucker look like Andrew Tate. Well, let's continue. That's just a quick sidebar.
From the UK over here and the US one over here. Just some differences in the packaging. But wait until you see what's also different with their ingredient list. Check out the differences here.
UK and the United States. Look at this.
All right, so UK just use tomato, spirit vinegar, sugar, salt, spice, and herb extract spice.
Heinz ketchup. There are about 6 ingredients, all recognizable, but that's not the same for the classic US one. Take a look at how much longer this thing.
Look at that shit. Tomato concentrated from red ripe tomatoes, which is probably GMO tomatoes anyway. Distilled vinegar, high fructose corn syrup, more corn syrup.
What the fuck? They just put so much corn syrup in there. They wrote that shit twice on the label.
Spice.
They just said, "Fuck it, we got so much corn syrup in here. Let's just keep writing corn syrup."
The motherfucker said high fructose corn syrup, more corn
and then
syrup.
corn syrup, more corn syrup on top of that. Why you need all that damn corn syrup? And that's just GMO corn syrup.
Motherfucker said corn syrup, more corn syrup.
And more corn syrup.
There are 3 added ingredients in the US version. See this right here? High fructose corn syrup, and natural flavoring. Those ingredients have raised some controversy the past few years. For example, the Environmental Working Group says natural flavoring, natural, it's not actually that. It's pretty deceiving. To be clear, they're not saying the ketchup is bad for you, but they say it's an example of not always knowing what you're getting. According to EWG, they say natural flavoring can contain mixtures of more than 100 chemicals. Heinz does not list exactly what natural flavorings are. They just say it's a mix of spices. Now, today, there are more than 10,000 chemicals and additives allowed in food in the United States, often in small amounts. But they haven't evaluated all of them at the FDA in decades. Doctors say the majority are safe, but some chemicals allowed here have been banned overseas after being linked to cancer and developmental or behavioral issues.
We need
y'all
to
hear
put
this?
the
Behavior
F
issue,
back into the
developing
Food and Drug
cancer.
Administration.
She's a congresswoman from Chicago who introduced a bill requiring the FDA to review certain chemicals banned
Was that
overseas.
the judge
If it
lady?
passes, it would close.
Oh, that ain't her.
Oh shit.
Back into the Food and Drug Administration.
She's a congresswoman from Chicago who introduced a bill requiring the FDA to review certain chemicals banned overseas. If it passes, it would close what's known as the GRAS loophole, chemicals generally recognized as safe. She says this allows companies to skip an extensive safety review when adding many chemicals to food.
Well, the Congresswoman says we are far behind other countries in food regulations. Right now in California, there's a proposed legislation that would ban 5 common chemicals from all foods that are sold. California would be the first state to do this, and that could then trickle down to other places. It's not just chemicals, though. There are also heavy metals to watch out for. A new Consumer Reports investigation reveals a dark side to some of your favorite dark chocolate.
Our tests found concerning levels of cadmium or lead, 2 toxic heavy metals, in most of the dark chocolate bars we tested.
Consumer Reports tested 28 dark chocolate bars, and the results?
For 23 of the bars, eating just an ounce a day would put an adult over a level that CR's experts and public health authorities say may be harmful.
Long-term exposure to heavy metals can cause kidney damage, hypertension, and reproductive issues. Don't just assume that organic is better. CR's test found that organic dark chocolate was just as likely to have concerning levels of heavy metals as other products.
Okay, growing up, we were always told chocolate wasn't the healthiest option anyway, but fish is supposed to be one of the best things you can eat. Except doctors say some kinds could have high levels of mercury that could cause some problems. Possible health risks from mercury include impaired brain function, loss of smell, and developmental delays in children.
If you have a high mercury level while the brain is developing in a fetus, there can be cognitive issues later in life. So we're very cautious in a developing brain. So that is young children and pregnant women especially need to keep mercury away from those neurons that are developing.
CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus says certain fish have more mercury.
It's the larger fish and the deeper fish where you get the mercury. Swordfish, tuna, and other big, deep fish have higher levels of mercury. Very little mercury, for example, in salmon and trout and other smaller fish that are at the surface.
So for typical adults, it's best to not eat those fish too often.
You can have 1 to 3 servings a week of tuna, and as an adult, it would be very safe.
The doctor says, as always, moderation is key.
See, that might be BS right there. That might be BS right there. If that shit got that fish ain't got naturally high levels of mercury. And if it did have natural mercury in it, high levels of that, it's probably not going to be harmful to humans. But if it's some shit in there that's mercury that's harmful to humans, that's in that fish, they putting it in there. They contaminating the waters with that fish. Because a lot of that shit is farm raised, so it's in controlled environments of where they decide what goes into those fish tanks, basically. Or those fish swamps, because that's what they basically be. The shits look like a swamp. It'd be murky waters. Shit look like sewage water. They don't change, that they don't clean ever, and they be having them fucking tilapias and salmon and all that shit in there. And they be feeding it what they want to feed it. So if it got high levels of this, high levels of that, they giving them shits them high levels of that. You know what I'm saying? And if it's wild caught from the sea and it still got poisons in it, that's the oil spills and shit like that. Like that BP oil spill shit that happened years ago. It be the poisons. They be poisoning the environment. Because the food wasn't naturally poisoned when it was put on the planet. Like, fish ain't just naturally fucking poison. Like, high levels of mercury and shit. If it got high levels of mercury, and it's something that they're doing to the environment for them to have high levels of mercury. That's what we trying to get through to y'all. They be prancing this shit around on the news, but the establishment be the cause behind this shit. Man, if y'all haven't already, man, smash that like button, man. Y'all know we definitely got the detoxes on deck, the zeolite, aka Zeoaid, and plus we got the melanin splash. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all trying to detox. You know what I mean? Of course, we got the CBD products on deck. You know what I mean? We got the CBD smokes. You know, our CBD smokes and all that is grown naturally all herbal, no chemicals, grown in sunlight, fresh water. Yeah, I mean, shit, that's why our CBD works so well. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know we ship fast. Yeah, I mean, we got the CBD pain bomb for those of y'all who be in pain. That shit got 2,400 milligrams of the CBD. You rub that anywhere on the body where it hurts, you definitely will feel a difference. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate all of y'all who've been shopping with us, man, and donating and all that, and liking our videos. Man, I'm getting tired as hell. We about to get up off of
sharing
this,
our
y'all.
videos, all that, man. We appreciate y'all. You know what I mean, getting this information out there, because it's definitely crucial to get this information out there.
Yeah.
Like you said, this information needs to be put out there so people can be able to start making decisions for themselves where they don't even have to be subjected to this shit. I think the more you get educated on this, you can start making decisions for you and your family, man. Because like you said, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about your kids or none of that shit. Because you got to feed your kids this shit every day. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then a lot of people eating 3 times a day and just eating shit throughout the day. So it's like
snacking all day.
All fucking day. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, we appreciate y'all,
eating
man,
all
for y'all.
day.
Right. We appreciate y'all that's coming in. I mean, that came in here. That came through, watched the show and shit. And man, share this live, babe. Thank you for sharing the live stream again. I appreciate that. So, and the rest of y'all, man, definitely get this information out there to your peoples, man. Let them know what the fuck they got in their refrigerator and their goddamn cabinets. So niggas can start, you know what I mean? They talking about lessening the poison. Nah, people need to start lessening these fucking corporations. Lessening these corporations. That's what the hell need to be happening. They talking about lessening the poison, lessening it down and shit. Nah, lessening these goddamn corporations down. That's what we need to be lessening down. Because if they don't want to budge, then the people gonna have to make them move. People gonna have to make them move. Because they ain't gonna budge. They ain't gonna budge. So it's up to the people, man. All right, let's get into these soaps, man. If you want your natural body soaps,
my nigga.
If you want to get your natural body soaps, man, you know what I'm saying? We got the natural body soaps on deck. You know what I mean? Made straight from the fresh garden flowers, man.
Yes.
Created these soaps are handmade. You're not going to get these soaps anywhere else because they're exclusive. You know what I'm saying?
We got nowhere else.
We got the natural body oils to go with it. You know what I'm saying? So vanilla's goat's milk soap, orange almond soap, and all these soaps is
golden teakwood,
different
lavender.
things for your skin. You know what I'm saying? So if you trying to clear up your eczema and you trying to clear up your you know what I'm saying,
it do help with your skin. Actually, go read the reviews. They gonna let you know this shit's been helping with their skin conditions. Even though it has not been evaluated by the FDA.
Oh yeah, the FDA. You know what I'm saying? Yup, get your body oils. Get your body oils and your soaps. Comes in a set. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's better than that store-bought Dow and you know what I'm saying? And what else niggas be using? Irish Spring.
No chemicals in this shit.
That's all bacteria and killers and chemicals, man. You need this stuff that actually medicinal, you know what I'm saying? Medicinal for the skin.
Yes.
African soaps, you know what I'm saying? Green tea soaps. All this shit's made from natural herbs and stuff, man. So,
and we do ship fast, y'all.
NightandDayNetMarket.com. You see the websites are scrolling down the bottom. You'll see the websites. All this websites scrolling at the bottom of the video.
It will be in the description of this video. And it's also on some of this shit is on our YouTube shelf too. You'll see some of our you can like click right on it. You'll see the pictures at the bottom of the video.
Yeah.
That's to our shop.
Straight off YouTube. Yeah, it got the store.
Yeah, you could buy it straight off YouTube.
Yeah. Yep.
So, you know what I mean? If y'all want to support, y'all loving what we doing, we trying to bring y'all